Hop in your Benz. The money be calling again and again and again. Don't wanna do nothing but win. Starting to think that I'm moving too fast again and again. Told me you love. Show me your love. Let me see that you love. Let me feel it.
So let's jump straight into it. So last, I was talking about Craig and going back. So another event that happened, one time we had a party at our house. And I had my friends over there. It was Lucretia, rest in heaven. Ashley, rest in heaven. Another one of my friends that got killed from domestic violence. My friend Peanut. So we was all over there. We had a big little party at our house and everybody came. So, when he would do his drugs, then he would get a little crazy. So he ended up locking my friends in the house, talking about he was going to rape them or something. And we all had to leave. Like, they had to break out the house and we all just had to leave. So we all go to Ashley's sister's house. And of course, Craig is calling. And I'm trying to be strong, a strong Black woman. Like, I ain't going back over there. This is it this time. Whoop-de-whoop. No. I ended up having Craig come get me again. So this time, I had the kids. And I don't know. I ended up telling him to come get me. Now, he would always do the thing like when you got in the car, oh, are you scared now? Are you scared now? That type of scare tactic. And every time the police just happened to be like in front of me or something, they would be somewhere in the vicinity to where I'm just about to pull over and pull up to the police, or I will hit the back of their car and make them pull us over. So this time he picks us up and says something scary again. And the police happen to be in front of me. So I was like, if you keep talking like that, I'm going to just go ahead and, I'm going to run up. I'm going to hit the police so they can take you, because I'm not dealing with this. Like, you just said you wasn't going to do this and that, and now look at you. And I was like, I have my kids with me, so I'm not about to go through this. My kids was little at this time. So this time, he already knew what I was going to do. So he had a gun and put the gun behind my back while I was driving and told me if I even think about getting by the police, that he was going to go ahead and kill me then. So this time it was a whole new level. Like, I was like scared. Like, he's put his hands on me, he's done this, he's done that, but he ain't never pulled a gun out on me. So I drive the car back to the house, scared, shaking, okay? And he calls his friend on the phone and he's like, I need you to come get the kids and take them to Jaleesa's grandma's house because I'm about to kill her. That breath that I just took, that's exactly how I felt. So we pulled up to the house. I take my kids out the car. Now his friend had just got there. So as we're getting out the house, like he's, walking up to us or whatever. And his friend didn't condone, none of his friends condoned anything that he did. But he was just so gone. Like, I don't think they even wanted to deal with him. So his friend, he comes, he gets the kids. But before his friend came, I tried to take off, and walk down the hill. Like, I grabbed the kids, like, come on, y'all, hurry up. And we tried to hurry up and go down this hill and just get away. Like, I was about to start screaming. And he runs up behind me and puts the gun in my back. And he's like, you better get back here because I will kill you in front of everybody. So his friend took the kids. He took the kids to my grandma's house. And Craig goes into the house. We go into the house. And he turns off the power breaker thing to turn off all the lights, make sure it was dark, make sure the phones didn't work or nothing. It was pitch black in that house. And this whole time he has this gun to me. And he puts the gun in my back, makes me go upstairs and sit on the bed. And he's like, if you don't start praying, he said, you better pray as hard as you can that I don't do nothing to you. He said, you better pray hard and you better pray loud. I've never prayed so hard or prayed so loud in my life. I was so scared because, like I said, he had his friend come get my kids, turns off all the power and everything, and told me if I don't start praying that he was going to kill me. It's been a lot of circumstances where I knew God was real, but I definitely knew that he was real that night. And I don't want to get emotional. I'm going to be strong because, you know, that's my past. My past is what made me who I am today. So I started praying as hard as I could, and my prayer worked because eventually he had took the gun, you know, off my head because that's where it was pointed. But then he did something else, and that's basically I was raped by my own husband, ex-husband. Let's be clear about that. I was raped by him, also with a gun. And I'll never forget that. Never. That was even hard to share with y'all, but I've never really shared that with too many people. And I know, you know, there's a lot of women that go through things like that. Like, I didn't even tell y'all most of the stories that happened in that marriage because I was married to him for about 4 or 5 years of hell and pure torture is what that was. Like, that was the devil. The devil's dad, son, something. That was the devil, I promise you. And I went through spousal rape most of that marriage. And if you don't know what spousal rape is, you should look that up because it's very true and it happens to a lot of women. And a lot of women don't talk about it because they think, oh, that's my husband. No. People like that are damaged and mentally sick will cause a lot of pain and infliction on people that actually did care about them. So I thank God that I got out of that. Like me, my kids went through stuff, not physically, even though he had a definite problem with my son. With my twins, he didn't have a problem with them, but he had a problem with my son. And, you know, there was times I had to threaten to kill this man if he ever touched my kids. One time we were at the post office, like I bought a car. He used to throw my keys on top of the roof so I couldn't get to work. I bought a car. He would take my car from me. I even gave him a car to get away from me. And while I was doing that, this man spit in my face, like in front of the post office. He was chasing us down, chasing me and my kids down, and got out the car and physically spit in my face. And my little daughter, she was little at that time, like 4 years old, ran up on him, like got in between us, like, don't you be spitting on my mama, and all kind of stuff. And I had to, you know, like, I had to get her, because I'm like, if you ever touch my kids, I will end you, period. So we went through a lot. Like, I'm not even gonna get into everything, because the stuff that I'm saying is enough. This is me being able to release all of this, and I just can't do it. And one time, even one of his friends even took advantage of me, like raped me. I was taking him home because Craig asked me to take him home, and I had took him home before, like we had took him home, so I knew which way his house was. But this time I was by myself, and he made me pull off into a different, like a apartment complex. He didn't live in no apartments, and choked me and made me do things that I did not want to do. And that whole relationship, the whole thing, it was just the devil and drugs. Not me taking them, but him on these drugs, because he was a crack baby, for one, and then introducing them drugs into his system only made him an idiot. So he ended up going to jail, and I ran to that jail with them divorce papers. And when you were in jail at that time, like, you had to sign anything that somebody brought up there. So they said if I brought those divorce papers up there, he was gonna sign them. And that's exactly what I did. I ran to that jail. I got those divorce papers signed. I moved out of that place, and he never knew where I lived again, ever. Until like later on in life, when he tried to apologize and talk about he wanted his wife back and all that stuff. Like, boy, please, ain't no way in hell I will ever in my life. Like, you caused so much pain and infliction on me. So I thank God that I made it out of that relationship with my life. And I hope if there's like anybody else that's going through something like that, I really hope that you get out, like get some help. Because honestly, if they hit you, they're gonna do it again. And you need to go ahead and take those warning signs seriously, because a lot of people aren't making it out with their life. I told you in the beginning, my friend Ashley, she got killed from domestic violence. Her husband shot and killed her. So domestic violence is nothing to take lightly. So I pray for anybody in that situation, and I definitely hope you get out. Reach out to me in my inbox or the comments, and I could see what I could do to help anybody get out of that situation, because I never want anybody to go through that. So with all that being said, because I was just, that was a lot on me. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. That's all we're going to talk about Craig. We're done with the Craig situation, because life moved on after that. And, you know, that was just a chapter in my life that obviously I had to go through. I went through it and I made it out of it with my life, even though I didn't think that I would. So make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Thank you all for tuning in, hearing parts of my life, parts of my journey. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Bye. Hey y'all, what's up? I'm at work. It's the next day. But I just had to come share this story with y'all. Because even though the devil will come for you, he'll send people to kill, steal, and destroy your spirit, destroy your body. God also protects you, and he will fight those battles for you without you even having to do anything. So all that stuff happened in the past. But recently, which not like 3-4 years ago, recently, Craig ended up getting into a bad, situation. He was messing with a young girl. I think she was about 15 or 16. Her dad and her brother ended up finding out and went and found him and beat that man with a pole, like beat him to death basically. Almost beat him to death. He was in a coma. So they don't call it mental retardation anymore. They call it intellectual disability. So this man, he now has a permanent intellectual disability. He even talks, like he has a disability. So I just wanted to say that to say this. You don't have to fight battles all the time. You don't have to fight your own battles, because people like that, things happen to them in life. Stuff's gonna happen to them regardless, without you even having to do anything. I mean, the best thing you can do is move on and be great. So I just wanted to say that, God will fight your battles and he will take care of things. And we're gonna leave it at that. So yeah, it's the next day. Just had to come back and share that little bit of it so you guys know what happened to Craig. And have a good day. I'll see y'all in the next video.
Hop in your Benz. The money be calling again and again and again. Don't wanna do nothing but win. Starting to think that I'm moving too fast again and again. Told me you love. Show me your love. Let me see that you love. Let me feel it.